In this presentation, we will set up a new QuickBooks file for the business being separate from the personal file within QuickBooks. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. To start the new company file, we will first open QuickBooks by double-clicking on the QuickBooks item after it has been downloaded. If we were recently working in QuickBooks, it'll take us into the last program we were working on. If it does, we can close that program if we choose by going to the File drop-down and going down to the Close a Company or Close Company. And that should take us to this screen, which will show us a couple of the files that we have opened recently. And then it'll allow us to give us some items down here to start a new file. I typically like to use the drop down up top, the file menu, to start a new file, which you can do if you have another program open or not. In other words, even if you're in another company file, you can start a new company file from the file drop down. And then we're going to go to a new company. We're going to set up a new company in order to enter this data into a fresh QuickBooks file. We will have a beginning balance. We'll start the beginning balance in the checking account, but just we'll go through the setup process. So we're going to go to the quick setup. We're not going to go down here and go through the full interview process. And so we'll say start setup. And I'm just going to enter the minimum data here for our practice problem. We're going to say it's going to be the business account. I'm just going to name it the business account so it can be as clear as possible that this will be the separation of the business only as opposed to the personal account. We're going to choose the industry, which will be a general product. We're going to have a general product, and that'll give us our chart of accounts. We want to note what we're doing here with the industry because when we look at a personal file, we're going to consciously not choose one of these industries because we don't want the chart of account for a personal file because it's going to be more personalized. But having a general chart of account that's related to our business is often very helpful, and that's why no matter what software we use, the business side is typically going to be easier because there's standards in terms of here's a standardized set of accounts. Whereas when we go to the personal side of things, our preferences may vary greatly from person to person. There's no real set standard that we have to group all of our expenses in some kind of set categorized way. In the business, we do, and that can be nice because it can make things easier. We're going to choose the product-based business here, general product-based business, and here's our chart of accounts. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and create the company file. QuickBooks may try to upsell us on a few more items here, but we're going to be okay. One of the main things to consider is the payroll. Do we want to buy checks and whatnot? I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that at this time. We're going to go ahead and close this item out and any other kind of items that may be there in relation to purchasing other services or products. Going to close this out. We're going to go to the home page, and that's what we want to see. I'm going to open the Open Windows over here by going to the View tab and Open Windows. And this is typically the layout that we will start off with every time we go through the QuickBooks files. Also note that QuickBooks setup file is really easy and really fast. One thing they don't do, which I wish they would do, is actually ask us where do we want to put the QuickBooks file. So we may not even know where the QuickBooks file is. It's going to go by default based on past history, what we've done in the past. So if we want to move the QuickBooks file, note that you can go to the drop down here and go to Open Previous File, and this will give you a navigation screen of where QuickBooks actually put this. Typically what I would do is get a screenshot of this. I then move over to Word or somewhere where I can post that or paste that screenshot so I can see it, and then I minimize it or format it so that I can see more of the screen. I'm going to go to the Format tools. I'm going to crop it. And there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is how I do this. And then we'll just crop this out, and then we can actually make this a little bit larger and see it, and then open up the other screen that we want to have and see if we can't then locate where QuickBooks has put this file and then copy and paste it wherever we want. So just note that you may want to do that so that you know where your QuickBooks file are. Otherwise, you could end up with a lot of files on your computer, and they're fairly large files, so you want to be able to organize these files. Also note that if you do move the QuickBooks file, then you're going to have to close QuickBooks first, and then copy or cut and paste or move the file, and then open the QuickBooks up again. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.